Cause niggas turn into a ghost. Now,
all jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on this for life, nigga. This a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, send a curse. We can't forgive us for forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, oh please forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fail. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like bad pal, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. Look. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the like you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go this zone. And the Lord said they hate you for my name. So you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing. Ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, that's all I don't. Either fold or salute, my nigga. Salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. Now I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go this zone. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah.
All right, we live. All right, can I be heard? Can I be heard? All right, bet. All right, shalom, Israel. Clap it up, clap it up. All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Bear with me 1 second. All right. All right, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. You understand that we are the children of Israel, you understand, since the 60s, you know what I'm saying? And right now, it is time to wake up. It is high time to awaken out of sleep. It's time to awaken out of the spirit of Christianity, the spirit of Islam, the spirit of Buddhism, the spirit of, you know, this society that we've grown up in, okay? Today's class, we're going to be going over Ezekiel 37, or a portion of Ezekiel 37 in particular, which is important. If you are Israelite, it's important for you to know this. It's important for you to know this if you are Black, Latino, or Native Indian. You understand? We are the children of Israel, and this is a part of our history. So we're going to be touching on Ezekiel 37. I guess before we jump into it, a little brief history, I guess. So when you go into like, okay, so when you go into like, was that First Kings, Second Kings, the children of Israel, King Saul was the first king over Israel. Okay, King Saul was the first king over Israel. Before that, we had judges that ruled over us. Right, so King Saul was the first king over the children of Israel, and he disobeyed the Lord continually. He disobeyed the Lord. Okay, he did it a number of times. He disobeyed the Lord, and the Lord spoke to Samuel and told Samuel that Samuel is no longer going to be a king over the children of Israel. He's going to be removed over the children of Israel, and the Lord is going to find a new king. Okay, and that king was King David. King David he lived the majority of his life righteously. You understand? He was a man after the Lord's heart. As a matter of fact, if I could, let me get Acts 13 and 20, if I could, so we can just jump right into that part. Acts chapter 13 verse 20.
The book of Acts chapter 13 verse 20.
All right.
And after that he gave unto them judges.
So like you could, because I don't know if it's loud enough. Here, I got you. Hold on, give me 1 second.
No sign Christ.
What?
No sign Christ. This is the book of Acts chapter 13 verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And after that he gave unto them judges about the space of 450 years until Samuel the prophet.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And afterward they desired a king. And God gave them Saul, the son of Cis.
Right. So, the children of Israel, before King Saul, there was, Israel didn't have a king. The Lord was our king, right? The Most High God was our king. But the children of Israel desired to have a king. Why? Because the other nations was having kings. So we wanted a king over us. So the Lord gave us Saul. Right, go ahead.
A man of the tribe of Benjamin, by the space of 40 years. Verse 22. And when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. So
David was a man after the Lord's heart. He was a man that was, you understand, that was going to fulfill the will of the Lord. You understand? His mind was the same way the Lord thinks. Like he thought the same way the Lord thinks. That's how he thought. Okay. So the Lord set up David over the children of Israel. You understand? And David ruled over the nation of Israel. And David committed adultery, which was his only thing that he did wrong. He committed adultery. He slept with another man's wife, and which is committing adultery. Okay. And for that, the Lord, you understand, the Lord punished him for those crimes, for what he did. And he also told David that he was going to, I'm jumping ahead. David was a righteous king, right? And he was punished for committing adultery. Okay. So then after David was his son Solomon. Okay. King Solomon was the wisest king. You understand? He was the wisest king of Israel. Okay. All right, bet. All right. And his fault was he began to lay with heathen nations. He began to marry, you understand, women from other nations and following after their God. Okay. Now we teach, just like the Bible teaches, that you shouldn't. It is against the Lord to lay with a heathen. It's against the Lord to marry, you understand, someone from another nation. Matter of fact, if I could get Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 3 for me, Barbara Shah.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 chapter 33.
Right.
Chapter 7 verse 33.
Oh, verse 3.
Verse 3.
Yeah, verse 3.
Neither, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 3.
Read it kind of strong if you could. I think the mic's kind of low.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Right. You should not make marriages with the other nations. You shouldn't go and lay with the other nations. If I could, so like, give me one moment. So like. All right. Good night. All right. So, all right. So read that again from the top. You start at verse 2. All right. The water.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 2.
Right.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and shalt utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
And who is it talking about? Who is the them? Talking about the other nations, man. That's why the Lord doesn't want us to deal with the other nations. He doesn't want us to build with them. He doesn't want us to marry their wives. You know, he doesn't want us to be together. As a matter of fact, that just goes to show the Lord does not love everybody. You understand? He doesn't love everybody. That's why he doesn't want us dealing with everybody. Keep reading.
I'm correct. If I may, would this be a preface, a precept when we say that our God is a jealous God?
When you go and serve other gods, yes, the Lord is a jealous God, and this goes into that. It show you. Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
These other guys will do what?
They will turn away thy son from following me.
These other nations will do what?
They will turn away thy son from following me.
Right. You're gonna turn away from following the Lord. And this is what, in this case, this is what happened to King Solomon. He began to lay with the heathen nations, and he began to follow their gods. He had images made for their gods, the women that he married. You understand? So we're gonna pick up there. We're gonna get let's see. Let's get 1 Kings 11 and verse 9. All right.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 9.
All right.
And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord, God of Israel.
Right. His heart was turned from the Lord because he chose to lay with the other nations. Understand? Keep reading.
Which had appeared unto him twice. Verse 10. And he commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go out after other gods. But he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
He didn't keep those commandments. The Lord gave the children of Israel commandments, and no one is above the law. You gotta understand that and keep that in your chest. No man is above the law. You understand? These laws was given to the children of Israel. All right. Keep going.
Is verse 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 11. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant.
Right, he's gonna rend the kingdom. Meaning, keep reading. He'll tell you.
Verse 12. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son.
So the Lord told King Solomon that he's not gonna rend the kingdom, or split the kingdom in his reign. Right? King Solomon reigned for 40 years, or roughly 40 years. You understand? He had a 40-year reign, and the Lord didn't split the kingdom under King Solomon for David's sake, because David, you understand, was such a good servant. The Lord didn't want to punish King Solomon. Well, it's like the Lord didn't want to split the kingdom under King Solomon. He said he's going to split it under his son. which is Jeroboam. You understand? He did many evil things in the sight of the Lord. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 13. Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was the king's seed in Edom.
So like, where you at?
Verse 14. Oh, Salakia. Verse 13. Howbeit, I will not rend away the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake.
Right. He's going to give one tribe, meaning he's going to give one tribe to rule under to be under King Solomon. All right, keep reading.
Verse 14. And for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. Verse 14. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. Verse 15. For it came to pass, when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. Verse 16.
So like 1 second. Okay, now go to so now we got to understand, we got that established. So the kingdom of Israel was split under the son of King Solomon, which is Jeroboam. That's when the kingdom split to two nations. Now 2.5 tribes stayed with the children of stayed with under King Solomon, or so like it stayed under was the tribe of Judah, and then 10.5 tribes went with Ephraim, or the northern tribe. Right? You have the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. Okay. The southern kingdom, which is the tribe of Judah, which consists of 2.5 tribes, which is Judah, Benjamin, and half of the tribe of Levi, they stayed, right? While the other 10 tribes, they actually traveled to a land that no man dwelt, but there they served other gods. Okay, they served other gods and they disobeyed the Lord, and the Lord stopped dealing with them. Understand? As a matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get before we get there. Let me get Psalm 78. Let me get Psalm 78 and verse 9.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 9. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows.
The children of Ephraim. Go ahead.
Being armed and carrying bows. Turned back in the day of battle. Verse 10. They kept not the covenant of God.
They did what?
They kept not the covenant of God.
They didn't keep the covenant of God. They didn't keep those commandments. Right? They went to that land. They went to another land to keep the commandments of the Lord, serve the Lord, and do the Lord's will, but they didn't. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 10. They kept not the covenant of God and refused to walk in his law.
They refused to walk in the Lord's law. Instead they wanted to serve other gods. You understand? They wanted to serve other gods. They wanted to, you understand, sleep with whoever they wanted to sleep with. They wanted to eat any kind of foods they wanted to eat. They wanted to just disobey the Lord. Okay? Keep reading.
Verse 11. And forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Verse 12. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers.
Right. So, and marvelous things, meaning the Lord did wonders. The Lord did, which I think it goes into that. The Lord did, the Lord saved the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. He split the waters. Those waters on both sides. And the children of Israel walked through. You understand? And they walked through on dry land and made it onto the other side. While our enemies, the Egyptians, went through, and the Lord closed the waters, and they all died. You understand? Ain't nothing been built in Egypt since. You understand? The Lord ended that. You understand? So the children of Israel seen these things. They've seen these great wonders, and these wondrous things, man. You understand? And we still sinned. we still broke the laws. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Marvelous things did he in the land, in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoar. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through.
Right.
And he made the waters to stand as a heap. Verse 14. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. Verse 15.
So like it. Right. So you can drop that. Let me get go to verse 7. Go to Psalm 68 and 67.
So 68 and
67.
Psalm 68.
Psalm 68. So Psalm 78, verse 67. Psalm 78, verse 67. There we go. So like, it's my fault.
Most High Christ.
All right.
67.
Most
High Christ. Moreover, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 67.
There we go.
Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph and chose not the tribe of Ephraim.
So the Lord stopped dealing with the northern kingdom because they chose to instead serve other gods. All right, keep going.
Verse 68. But chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion which he loved.
Right, the Lord chose the tribe of Judah. You understand? He chose the southern kingdom. I'm gonna use that term, the southern kingdom. Okay, so now we're gonna get into it shortly, but Christians love to say that Gentile is talking about everybody, but what they don't know, because they follow a doctrine, they follow Christianity, they follow our oppressor's spirit, his lies, his ways. So they think that Gentiles is talking about everybody, and that's not in the Bible. That's not what the Bible's talking about. You understand? They don't know the history, and this is the history that we're bringing out today. That's why we're going to go into Ezekiel 37, and we're going to break down the history a little bit. You understand? To give you understand the context in the history about why are we called Gentiles? What happened? Well, we just read that the kingdom split under King Solomon's son Jeroboam. You understand? Because of the disobedience of King Solomon in laying with the other nations, the Lord rendered the kingdom. You understand? And he split the tribes. Okay, so what's I gonna go? Where you at? Keep reading.
Psalm 78.
Right. So yeah, let's go back to my bad. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15. Okay. So let me say real quick. So Christians say that Gentile is talking about everybody, right? And that's not the case. We're going to get into that shortly. Let's go ahead and keep reading. Verse 15.
Before we continue.
Yep.
Just to get some clarity. Because I know when we ask about the Gentile, I always say there's a Gentile in two ways.
Absolutely. There's a Gentile. That's why we say context. So on one hand, you have Gentile that means, non-Israelite, and sometimes it means Israelite. Israelite is following another culture. It's following, we're following the Greek culture, the Roman culture, the Galatian culture. We're following a culture that is not our culture. So we become Gentiles by the way of customs, language, traditions, right? That's how you become a Gentile. Like an American, you became an American. You like to eat pork. You like to celebrate Christmas. You think that, what the white man say? We all bleed blood. We're all the same. Yeah, we're all the same. We're all one. Hey, brother, they say, hey, brother, come on, come have a Jägermeister with me, brother. They real, now in America, you're all just the same people, but we clearly see a difference as Black and Hispanics. They were not treated the same. we're treated like 4th and 5th class citizens. And the wild thing is we built the country. We built America from the ground up, but we're treated like, I mean, the damn East Indian come over here and live like kings, man. Live like the white man, right? You better say something.
Yeah, they're very quick to say that, oh, we all come from Africa, but they don't treat the Africans as if they're personal. Like, they don't treat anybody like they're equal, but they quick to be like, white race, you know.
Oh, they love.
We all come from Africa.
Yeah. Let our oppressor find out that you from Africa. Oh man, they got so many questions. They're gonna like you gonna be, you know, like them. You're gonna be treated differently. You're gonna be treated better than a black man. You understand? They wanna know about that culture. They want to know about everything. You know, that like when you come from another, when they find out you from another nation, they treat all the heathens better. Look at all the gas stations. Who runs the gas stations right now? The East Indians. The East Indians and the Arabs. They running them gas stations, man. They got the oil. They got this going on. That's why they in your gas. They in your neighborhood. They in your communities. They run your chickens, the chicken spots, all that. You got East Indians making chicken. You understand? Like every nation is benefiting, but blacks and Latinos. And we built this country. We building everything. You know what I'm saying? They can never do what we do ever. You understand? So that's more the reason why blacks and Latinos, like black people, should not even ever say, oh, you know, I'm not dealing with, you know, I'm not gonna get involved with what's going on with Mexicans. No, that right there, that's evil, man. You understand? With all the things that Mexicans have done for black people, Mexicans have done so much for black people. Mexicans fought at the Alamo, fought and died at the Alamo for fighting against slavery, fighting to get us free. You understand? You mean tell me I'm not gonna join my brother that fought and died for me? But you're gonna get into the white man's military. See how backwards we are? Our people we're so lost here in America, you understand, that we follow, you know, we'll go against our brothers that's being oppressed just like us, living in the ghettos and the barrios just like us, but then go and turn and vote for our oppressor, join the militaries, go and find any way to make some and getting your feelings when the president that you didn't vote for gets in office. When they not one president has ever done anything good for black people. But you want to go fight for them. You want to go fight for them and join them and just get into their facility, their institutions and things like that when they don't even do anything for us. But I'm not going to give my brother. I'm not going to fight for my brother. It's wild, man. See, because we're destroyed here in America, man. But this is a whole nother subject. So like it. Let's go ahead and let's get back to the lesson. Let's get Ezekiel 37 and 15.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15. The word of the Lord God came again unto me, saying, verse 16, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for the house of Israel, his companion. So listen now, the Lord is putting back the two sticks, Judah and Ephraim, or the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, right? Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians are coming back together, right? Black and brown, the two sticks, we're going to come back together and be one nation. That's what this is talking about, Judah and Ephraim. Keep reading. Verse 17. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. Verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, say, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by this? 19. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah. Right, the Lord's going to put Judah and Ephraim back together. When we were split under King Jeroboam, right, and the children of Ephraim went off and began to serve other gods, so the Lord just stopped dealing with them. The Lord's calling them back. The Lord's calling them back and bringing Judah and Ephraim back together. Right, keep reading. and make them one stick, and they shall be one in thine hand.
Right.
Verse 20. And the sticks whereon thou hast written, and the sticks whereon thou writtest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. Right.
So that's what we're doing here in Isupk. We're joining the two nations together. That's what we do. That's what we go out when we these street corners. We go out, we teach class. You understand? We're trying to join the children of Israel back together, man. You understand? You understand? And this is what Christ gave his life for, to bring the children of Israel back together. Right? This is the chapter is going to explain that. Christ is the one bringing back the two tribes, or the 12 tribes back together, man. You understand? We split, and now Christ is going to be the one to bring us all back together. Keep reading.
One time first. Verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone.
Say what? Say like this. Read that one more time.
Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone.
Because we went amongst the heathens. When we were scattered, when we broke God's commandments, when we broke his laws, the Lord, we got scattered amongst the nations. You understand? So like, if you could hold where you at, right? Let me get let me see. Let me get to what? Okay, let me get where did I want to get? So I keep reading it. My bad. I'm gonna find it in a second. I just had to. I just want to tell my mind. All right. Keep reading.
Verse 22. And will bring them together, them on every side, and bring them into their own land.
And bring us into our own land, right? Because that's right now we're scattered in these other nations. We're in America. We're in the Netherlands. We're in what's that? United Kingdom. We're all over the whole earth. We're scattered throughout the earth because we broke God's laws, broke his commandments. And in those other nations, we became Gentiles because we followed the customs or the traditions or even the language of these other countries that we're scattered in. That's what Christ said. When he said, go and preach to all nations, he's not talking about teaching our oppressor or Chinese or East Indians. He's not trying to teach all these other nations. He's talking to the scattered Israelites that were scattered throughout the earth. Get James 1:1. That's not what I wanted, but get James 1:1. James 1:1. Let me get it. Yeah, you can go ahead and read it. No, you talk about. All right, for time's sake, it's okay. You don't have to get it. Like even James said to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. We are the 12 tribes that have been scattered. This is in the book of James. That's the New Testament. Because that's who who is talking about, man. You understand? We were scattered. You don't have to get it, cool. We were scattered into the other nations. We became Gentiles by following the other nations. So Christ is going to bring back the two nations. He's going to bring back the northern kingdom and southern kingdom. He's going to bring back Judah and Ephraim. He's going to bring back the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom and make them one nation again. Right? Now, let's go back to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, where you at?
37 and 22.
Yeah, let's get that again.
One time first. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them.
And what?
And one king shall be king to them.
Right. We have one king, and who's that king? It's Christ. You understand? That's who our king is. Christ. Matter of fact, keep reading. So like it.
And one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations.
They shall what?
They shall be no more two nations.
We shall no more be two nations anymore. Black and brown. We're gonna be one nation. That's what the Lord's gonna do, man. under Christ. You understand? He's going to make a one nation again. Keep reading.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
All right, we're not going to be divided into two kingdoms because we split. Remember, we split under King Jeroboam. The Lord's going to make us one kingdom, one nation. Keep reading.
Verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols.
Right, and then this time, we're no longer going to be serving other gods. We're not going to be serving idols. We're not going to be, following after Baal. We're not going to be following after Beelzebub. We're not going to be following after, getting a golden calf and worshiping a golden calf. We're not going to be worshiping other gods anymore. That's what we're rehearsing right now. You come into Isupk, we're going to show you how to get clean and how to what is clean and what is unclean. This is what we're going to show you, right? Under commanding Juliana. That's what we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to serve the Lord. You understand? For real. Keep reading.
Nor with their detestable things. Nor with any of their transgressions.
Right.
But I will save them out of their dwelling places. Out of all their dwelling places.
We're going to be saved out of all the captivities that we're in right now. Out of all the kingdoms that we're living in right now, the Lord's going to save us from those things, man. He's going to save us from the land of America. He's going to save us from the United Kingdom. He's going to save us from under, wherever land that we've been scattered. That's where we're going to be saved from. Keep reading.
Wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God.
Right. This is Ezekiel. The Lord said we're gonna stop serving these other gods, stop breaking those laws and those commandments, and we're gonna be God's people, man. You understand? We're gonna be His people again. Keep reading.
Verse 24. And David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd.
Right, David. Now, so look. Now it says David, but who is it talking about?
The house of Judah.
Nah, it says, and David, my servant, shall be king over them. Who is it talking about?
He's talking about Christ.
Talking about who?
Christ.
It's talking about Christ. That's right. That's right. That's because Christ comes from a line of kings, and when He returns, He's going to continue that line of kings. You understand? He's gonna reign on His father's throne, David. Right now, just for sidebar, was David Christ's David's son?
By lineage.
By what?
By lineage.
Right, by lineage. So when it says he shall, for example, when it says he shall reign on his father's throne, David, who was it talking about? It's talking about Christ reigning on his. But was David's Christ's father? Like was Joseph Christ's father? Let me just
no. For was not Christ's father because David came from the house of Judah.
Right. So, but why does it say that?
Because the first king came from the house of Benjamin, which is Saul.
No. No. So when you go into the book of Matthew, the first chapter, and it's naming off of kings, it's naming off of let's just go to it. Let's go to Matthew 1 and verse 1. Let's just a sidebar, just so so you understand. It's just for a point. Okay?
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David.
This is the book of the generation of Jesus Christ. This is his family tree. Keep reading.
The son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, and Judas begat Phares and Zara of Tamar, and Phares begat Esrom, and Esrom begat Aram.
Right. So this is Christ's family tree. This is his lineage. Okay. But the reason why it's naming off of naming like that, right? So when it says Christ he's gonna sit on his father's throne, David. When it's naming off the prominent men in his family, or the prominent ones in his family, right? I don't use the word character, but prominent ones in his family, like the famous ones, the famous ones that was in his family. You understand? So it might say, yeah. So if somebody say something like that, right? So now let's go back to Ezekiel. I think you got the point, right? All right. So let's go back to Ezekiel. Yeah.
And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd.
They shall what?
And they shall have one shepherd.
Now, who was that shepherd?
That's Jesus.
That's Christ, right? Let's get right. Let's get Luke 1:31. Because Christ is a king, and he comes from a line of kings. When he returns, he's going to continue that line. All right.
The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 31. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
Right. He's going to give to him the throne of his father David. Why?
You said 31. I read 32.
Oh yeah. Go to 31. Yeah.
Verse 31.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus.
Call his name Yahushua. Now you too up, yeah. It's cool. You can say that because Christians don't know. They don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? So you shall call his name Yahushua, right? That's Christ. And he's gonna keep reading.
Verse 32. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. Right. He shall give to him
the throne of his father David. Right? Because that's who reigns. That's who. You understand? That's the throne that he's sitting on. Right? Now go back to Ezekiel. Get John 10 and 11. Right? That shepherd. Christ is the shepherd. He's the shepherd. So when we read in Ezekiel 37 and 24, the shepherd, they shall also walk in my and David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. That shepherd is Christ. That's the one that is going to be leading and ruling over the children of Israel. You understand? That's who's coming to reign. Christ is coming back to reign over the children of Israel. He's going to sit on his father's throne, right? King David. So why do we say this? Why am I saying this now? Because Christ, he never came for the other nations. He didn't come for the other nations. He came for the children of Israel.
Right.
He came for the law. Matter of fact, let me get Matthew 15:24. Before you get John, yeah.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15,
right.
24.
They shall have one shepherd, right? That one shepherd is Christ. Let's get the precept.
But he answered and said, I am not sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Christ was only sent to the lost sheep
of the house of Israel. That's in the Bible. He was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's not sent to the other nations. He's only coming for the one sheep. Now, drop that. Let me get John 10 and 11.
The book of John, chapter 10, verse 11.
Right.
I am the good shepherd.
I'm what?
I am the good shepherd.
Christ is the good shepherd. Keep reading.
The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
Right, because Christ gave his life for the sheep. He didn't give his life for the other nations. It didn't say that. It says he gave his life for the sheep. He giveth his life for his sheep, man. Right? He's that shepherd in Ezekiel 37 and 24 that the Lord was going to set over the children of Israel. Right? Now let me get, you already got who the lost sheep is. The lost sheep is the children of Israel. Now let me get John 10 and 14.
I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine.
Say that one more time.
Verse 14. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine.
Right, keep reading.
Verse 15. As the Father knoweth me, even so, I know the Father, and I laid down my life for the sheep. Verse 16.
Laid down his life for the sheep. See, the scriptures describe the other nations as the beast. The other nations are the beasts of the field. They're the beasts. They're the ones who, you understand, who go and destroy Israel, who go and take from Israel, who go and, you understand, misuse Israel. You want to say something?
If I may, sir, just the difference in spirit. They're the type of beasts that will only save themselves when things get hot.
Right. I mean, really, there's nothing wrong with a nation loving their own. Like, we gotta understand that. Like, black people.
I don't mean it in that context. I'm sorry, sir.
Well, no, cool. Let me just make this point. So, black people, like, in the world, we're thinking that we try to seek compassion from everybody. When we really should have compassion for ourselves, for our nation, for our people. But who think that's evil, or think that's racist, or whatever it is? It's other nations. It's our oppressor. Our oppressor hates when we love each other. You understand? They say you guys are being racist. God only loves y'all. He only loves blacks and Latinos. Now that's offensive. Now now I'm a racist because I don't love my people. But other nations love their own people. The Chinese have a Chinatown in every city. In every major city, there's a Chinatown. There's a town that's made for just Chinese people, where they only hire Chinese. They only have Chinese businesses, Chinese everything. You can't be a black man and set up a chicken shop or whatever you want, in their neighborhood or in their town. They're not going to allow that. But they call us racist. But when we say we want that, when we say we should do that, we should build, we should have this, black people, we got to have our own. We got to come back together. Now we're the ones that's speaking evil. Now we're the hate group. You see what I'm saying?
It's almost as if they know that brotherhood is a weapon.
They know, first of all, when the children of Israel come back together, that's the fall of their kingdom. That's exactly what's happening. Blacks and Latinos and Native Indians are coming into the ISUPK. They're coming into the ISUPK, and they're leaving the world. They're leaving the culture of our oppressor. And that's why this place is falling, man. This place is falling because Israel's coming back. Israel's coming back right now, and that's what you should. If you're not in the school, if you're not in ISUPK, you should get into the school right away.
Right.
You should hurry up. You should get in here yesterday, because you understand, our people are waking up, man. They're coming into the school right now. They want to, you understand, get into a place where they know the Lord, the Spirit is dwelling. You understand? You see brothers getting off drugs, sisters getting off drugs. You understand? People getting out of gangs and getting out of all kind of activities and coming back to the Lord. All right? Keep reading. Oh, you about to make a point, Oxalaki? You just want to make a point on something?
No. It's easy to see the difference between the nations and us, but it's really hard to put it in words. That's all.
Okay, no sweat.
Where we are? We John 16, 10 and 16.
10 and 16. That's right. Yep.
And the sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring.
So read that one more time. Yeah, exactly.
Verse 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold.
So during this moment in time, Christ is speaking to the southern kingdom, Judah. This is what we brought up earlier about the kingdom being split, right? And it saved only the tribe of Judah, or the kingdom of Judah. This is better said, the kingdom of Judah, right? While the northern kingdom went off and they served other gods, and the Lord, he began to not deal with them anymore. He stopped dealing with the northern kingdom. Okay, so you have Christ telling the kingdom of Judah that he didn't only come for this sheep only, but there's other sheep he came for. Who's the other sheep? the northern kingdom, or the tribe of, or the tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Joseph and his companies and his companions. You understand? He came to bring back. Christ is telling you right now. Now, when it says other sheep, now Christians probably read that and say, "Oh, it says other sheep. That means it's talking about all nations." No, the sheep. Who do we just read? The sheep was about.
Sorry, if I may.
Hold on. Who is the sheep about?
The sheep are of the.
The sheep are who?
Matthew 15:24.
Matthew 15:24. Right. It says what? It says, he says, I've only come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who the sheep is. So read that one more time real quick.
Verse 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold.
And the other sheep are the children of Israel, which is the tribe of Ephraim, the northern tribes, right? The tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Joseph. You understand? Those tribes is who the other sheep are, that is not of that fold. The Lord is bringing back the two sticks. Keep reading.
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. One fold and one shepherd.
That's Ezekiel 37:24. Now let's go back there real quick. Matter of fact, no, before you get that, let me get Hosea 3 and 4. Right? So Christ is coming back to be king over the children of Israel. Okay? Coming back to be the king. He's our king right now. When he comes back, he's gonna come back and continue that line of kings. You understand? He's gonna sit on the throne of David and continue that line, right? Now, go back to Hosea 3 and 4.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king.
Right, for so many days we didn't have a king. It was not a king over the children of Israel. Right? Keep reading.
And without a prince. And without a sacrifice.
And without a sacrifice, right?
And without an image.
Until Christ. We didn't have a king over us. When we went to serve these other gods and serve these other nations, we didn't have a king over. Like, even when during the time of Christ, you know, people knew that Joseph was supposed to be the king. If we would have had power right now, Joseph would have been a king right now, and he would give that power over to Christ. You understand? That's how Christ knew that he was that one that was supposed to be sent, man. He knew he was that good shepherd. You understand? He was reading the scriptures, and he realized that he was the one. He was that one, right? So now read that again from the top.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a priest, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. Verse 5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God.
Right. Afterwards, after Christ, we're gonna seek the Lord. Christ came, gave his life, and guess what? The apostles began to teach everything that Christ taught them. You understand? And left us these records. So in 1969, when the Isupk was established, that's when we began to seek the Lord again and prepare the children of Israel. You understand? And return to our culture and our heritage. You understand? Because this is the place that the Lord rose up. This is the place. This is where you understand, we begin to return. Read verse 5 again from the top.
Verse 5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
Right. We're going to be seeking, you understand, how to serve the Lord, how to be more like Christ, how to be like our King. Because we know that our King is going to return. At some time, our King is going to see, our God is going to see that we are returning to him. And we are putting down those graven images. We're putting down those sin. We're putting down the culture of our enemies. and we're coming back to serve our God. You understand? You got a question?
I answered it by looking in the Zondervan dictionary of what an ephod was.
Oh, no sweat. Okay, no sweat. All right. Let me get Baruch 2:29.
The book of Baruch, chapter 2:29. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. Verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it's a stiff-necked people.
Right, we are hard-headed people. We are hard-headed people, and we don't like to follow instructions. We don't like to follow good wisdom. We want to do what we want to do. We're stiff-necked people. We hard-headed. Right, keep reading.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
In the what?
They shall remember themselves.
In the land of our captivity, meaning the land that we were scattered to. The same these land, I got the land in America, in South America, in Mexico, and overseas, like the United Kingdom, and the Netherlands, and Germany, and wherever we scattered at. You got a brother in Africa right now. We're scattered throughout the whole world. We're gonna remember in the place of our captivity, in the place that we were enslaved at. We're gonna remember who we were and return to the Lord. Right? Keep reading. Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. Verse 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. Verse 33. And return from their stiff neck.
We shall do what?
And return from their stiff neck.
We're gonna stop being hard-headed. Like we gotten beat, destroyed, and all kind of things here in America and any land that we've been scattered to. We've been through hell. You know what I'm saying? We're living in hell right now. And blacks and Latinos, we're tired of living in hell. We're tired of being oppressed. We're tired of, getting gunned down, unarmed by our oppressor. And then they never paid for their crimes. They never paid for slavery. Like black people right now, we still suffer from post-traumatic distress. You understand? We still have PTSD from slavery. Did you know that? You know they did a study on that, right? They did a study on that you can still have like a PTSD from a trauma that your ancestors went through. You understand? That is a fact. It's a fact. That's why black people, we get so afraid when police get behind us, because it's something in your DNA that makes you remember about the trauma and the pain that our people have been through for so long. You understand? And you should ignore it. You should not ignore that. You should not sit there and say, well, that slavery was a long time ago. Don't take our oppressor's rhetoric and think that it's true. You understand? Our oppressor is a liar. He is the father of lies. We shouldn't follow after any of their philosophies or ideologies, because it is there to deceive us and confuse us and take us and turn us away from following our God. We do have to remember slavery, because then we know who we shouldn't be dealing with. We do have to remember the trail of tears. Black people should never be like, I'm not gonna help my brother help the Mexicans. You tripping. You understand? Because we both have a common enemy. You understand? We're being oppressed by the same devil. And what you should know, which is most important, is that Mexicans are our brothers, man. That's Lavasa. That's our people, man. That's our nation. Those are our people. We should be joining ourselves together and becoming one nation again. We need each other. We don't need our oppressor. We don't need to be joining with them and trying to love them. The hell we sitting back for? Why are we sitting back for and not doing a damn thing? Why are we not speaking up for our brothers? Why we don't fight for our? Why? Why are you not doing it? when our president, like, don't think for example, don't think for 1 minute that when our president's done with the Mexicans, don't think that black people ain't next. Black people, you are next. We're next. We are next. You understand? With the 14th Amendment, guess what? They're getting rid of that. And guess what? That means, what's that mean? You getting deported too. Black people, it's time to wake up, man. You about to say something, brother?
No time first. I seen something, I'm just going to say it's over the internet, but they did a study regarding there was a famine that went on in World War II. I think it was like 1943, 1944 in Netherlands, which was between those three powers, Germany, France, and England, while they were having a war. There was a famine that went on for the latter part of the year. I'm sorry, it's a sad part. But they studied the effects of the famine that happened in that 1 year. And what they found was that the genetic inheritance from those, not just the children, but the grandchildren, after that event, they were suffering from all types of mental disease from, just their people being in the land of that family.
That's right.
It was an intention, it was a man-made family.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't like, oh, we don't have enough food. There was an embargo where, they didn't want to serve German-occupied France, and, the British people couldn't get enough food in. So it caused the whole family. But what they studied was that trauma was passed down even off of that 1 year.
Damn right.
What you're saying is so heavy.
Damn right, Doc. Damn right. We do have a comment. What's his brother? What's his name? Kazak Ya. His name is Kazak Ya Bonloya. All right. He said, if you can't see the mark of the beast is the chip, something wrong with, what did he say?
If you can't see that the mark of the beast is like a chip, like a microchip.
He said something wrong with your, okay. All right, so the mark of the beast is not a damn microchip. It's not a goddamn microchip. You know who gave us that damn lie? The so-called white man. It comes from the same white supremacy doctrine that there's going to be an antichrist, and he's going to come and he's going to bring peace and love and bring all the nations together, and it's going to be how the doctrine go? It's going to be 3 years of peace, and then whatever. It's going to be something like that, right? That's the whole white supremacy doctrine. The mark of the beast is a microchip. That's a lie. You already got the mark of the beast. Like, you understand? Like, you think you got to wait on a microchip? No, it's not a microchip. The mark of the beast is Christianity. That's what the mark of the beast is. It's Christianity. That's why you got to fight so hard with your mom, with your grandmother, about celebrating Christmas. You got to fight with your aunties and your uncles about why you don't celebrate Christmas no more. Why you don't want to eat pork? Why you don't come around when it's Christmas time? That's the mark of the beast, because they follow our oppressor, man. Right. You think that you got to get a damn microchip? Oh, the microchip you think you can't buy or sell? You can't buy or sell. So you trying to tell me the white man's gonna end prostitution? He's gonna end drugs? You gonna buy drugs with your microchip? You gonna go buy drugs with your microchip? Because the white man monitoring, I guess, because that's his way to monitor you, right? You must be out your damn mind. No, it don't work like that. The microchip is not about buying potato chips at the grocery store, buying M&Ms. It ain't about that. You understand? The mark of the beast is in your mind. As a matter of fact, the mark of the beast is a seal. It's like a marking. Matter of fact, let me get Ezekiel 9. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me get Ezekiel. What's that? Hold on. Mark them as sign cry. Give me 1 second. That brother probably left, huh? He sure did, brother. Brother said that, got up out of there. Mark 7. No, Mark. Oh, hold on.
So if I may, they think it's about how you would purchase things, but it's more about the things that you would purchase. it's about the fact that your hand will go and reach for things that you know are bad and destructive for you while you make excuses. You know that weed and alcohol or not alcohol, but your abuse of these things, you know, the fact that you serve ham at the Christmas dinner and say praise God, you know, all of these things.
Right. Hold on a second.
Yes,
and if I could, so like my bad. If you could, let me get Ezekiel 9:4. So yeah, the mark of the beast is not, you know, it's not a microchip. It's not a microchip. I don't know how cats still believe in that. You understand? Like, you know, read what you got if you could, Bubba Show.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead.
I said what?
Go through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead.
What about this mark? You know you're supposed to get a mark too, right? Is it a literal mark? Are we supposed to be stamping each other's heads? All right, but you mark, man. Right? The ones that sigh and cry. You sighing and crying. Why? Who are the ones that getting the mark? Keep reading.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right. This is a mark upon the foreheads. The men that sigh and cry for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. Meaning our people are in the midst of, you understand, abominations, lies, and idol worship, and serving other gods, and you know, all manner of things. We just just lost in our oppressors' culture. Okay, so we're sighing and crying. That's what we do on the corners. We're sighing and we're crying. We in class. We're sighing and crying. We're telling you that, you know, we got to come up out of the ways of our oppressor. You understand? What about that mark? Shouldn't we have that mark? Shouldn't the Lord be marking you with this? Because the Lord has a seal. He has a mark. That's the mark that you want. You don't want the mark of the beast. First and foremost, who is the beast?
The powers of the world.
Who is the beast?
Edom.
Get the water out. That's who the beast is. The beast is the so-called white man. That's who the beast is. Right? And if you have his mark, you don't have the Lord's mark. And that's what you should have. You should have what these brothers had, what these brothers got in Ezekiel. You about to say something?
Yes, sir. So when you know the truth, there's not if I can speak from my own experience, from what I've heard, from what I've seen inside the campus and school, that there would not be a mark on you once you get a new name. Right?
Okay.
So then when we go into Ezekiel 9:4, they have to be marked because they go and they sigh and they cry in the midst of these abominations because there's not a mark on them.
No. It's not a literal mark. None like that. These are like the Lord is how I say this. The Lord is singling out the ones that are standing with the Lord. The men that are standing with the Lord, this is who the Lord sees. The angels giving a report. These are the ones that are standing with you, Lord. They have not been the need to Baal. They're not serving other gods. They're not, serving Beelzebub. They're not serving these other guys. They're not following after our oppressors' culture. These brothers stand with you, Lord. We're gonna mark them that sigh and cry for the abominations thereof. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Verse 6. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
Right. So the ones who didn't have the mark got destroyed. The Lord destroyed them. You understand? They died because they didn't have the mark of the Lord. That's the mark. Now, the Lord's mark is spiritual. why wouldn't the mark of the beast be spiritual? You thinking it's a little? You thinking it's a? You gotta find a literal microchip just to know you got the damn mark? No, we don't wear a mark. I mean, it's like we ain't wearing no mark. You know, we ain't. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have them like a microchip to say when we serve the Lord. Ain't no thing, no. I don't have to be stamped or nothing like that to say I serve the Lord, because it's spiritual. The mark of the beast is spiritual. You understand? A lot of our people have that mark. I say, like, you might be a grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, they just got the mark because they uphold America. They love Christianity. They love the American way and the philosophy. They love the way of Esau. They wear spiritually. They wear the mark of our oppressor. You understand?
Not in how, because I know a lot of people, even myself, will say, there's a lot of people that are frustrated with America, but they don't go out and participate in their voting. They'll go out and participate in their debates, and that'd be written on their spirit, right? They don't separate themselves from that.
Oh yeah, you go and celebrating 4th of July. 4th of July gonna come up, right? You're gonna celebrate 4th of July, and you just that's the mark. You're marking yourself. You are following the culture of our oppressor. You following Christianity. You understand? You thinking that what was it? What was that? 4th of July, right? When all men was created equal. And well, that's not what they wrote that. What was that? What's that? Not the Declaration of Independence.
Emancipation Proclamation.
Not that one either. The Star Spangled Banner. Singing the Star Spangled Banner, and guess what? The third verse, you find out the song is really talking about unaliving black people, unaliving, our people who were slaves during the 1776. We were slaves, and you getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July, getting that barbecue pit ready, you about to get your little your pork chops and your ribs, and about to have a good celebration about the enslavement of blacks and Latinos. No, what's wild is you're a black man, right? You're a black man getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July. That was actually, about, in the song the Star Spangled Banner was about enslaving black people and unaliving them when they try to get free. That's what you're getting ready to celebrate. You're getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July when it was, 4th of 1776, we was enslaved, right? But then you're gonna turn around and say, I'm not gonna stand with the Mexicans. Get the hell out of here, man. You a damn that's a damn fool. You about to say something, brother? Good night.
It's a wild sentiment that they've held since the beginning of the creation of this nation. That they set about to escape persecution from the British. First of all, it's an island. Absolutely wrong. That they're being oppressed by an island. But then to turn around and to say that we also want the right to have slaves. We're being oppressed, and we're going to have slaves. That's a very interesting sandwich there.
Yeah, I'm right.
That's why. That is a spiritual day over there.
Damn right. Now you talk about. Damn right. Let's see. We got any questions? Let's see. We got any questions? I don't think any questions so far. All right. All right. So, one second. Where did we leave off at?
We're in Baruch.
Right, Baruch.
Ezekiel 9:5.
No, you dropped that. Let me go back to that. Go back to Baruch for me.
All right, that was Baruch 2 and 9.
Right. Nah. Now you were at
Baruch 2 and
29. That's what you said. Yep, Baruch 2 and 29.
if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number amongst the nations.
Right, because now we become, in these other nations, we become the minority. You understand? We become the minority group. Keep reading.
Where I will scatter them. Verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. Verse 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. Verse 33. And return from their stiff neck and their wicked deeds.
Yeah, right. We're going to return to the Lord. You understand? Let me get this last one we'll bring out. Let me get Hosea 1:10.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured, nor numbered.
Now this is a future prophecy. You understand? Because when we left when we were scattered throughout the nations, we began to follow these other nations' culture. We began to speak their languages and follow their traditions. We became Gentiles. That's why when you read in what is that? I think it's what is that? It's in the New Testament. I think it's might be in Ephesians or 1 Corinthians. I think Romans, where it says we were carried away into these dumb idols. We became Gentiles that were carried away onto these dumb idols. Meaning, we were Gentiles. We became Gentiles by following these other nations' culture. We following their gods, following their ways. So when it talks about Gentiles, sometimes it's talking about Israelites, sometimes it's talking about non-Israelites. But the context of it, that Christ only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And those lost sheep, they're lost. Why are they lost? Because they were following the ways of the Gentiles. They became Gentiles. They were Gentiles carried away onto dumb idols. Right? So in Hosea, this is a future prophecy. Read that again from the top.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Ye what?
Ye are not my people.
Right, it was said we are not his people because we were living like Gentiles. We weren't living like the children of Israel. We living like we doing whatever the hell we want to live. We're serving other guys, having whatever lifestyles and, just doing all kind of filthy things that were not like the children of Israel. Right? Keep reading.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Ye are the sons of the living God. So let me get one more. Let me get Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. This will be the last one.
So he said, one verse.
Songs of Solomon.
Chapter 1, verse.
Chapter 5, verse 1. So
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. I am coming to my garden.
No. What did I want? That's Song of Solomon. I wanted Wisdom of Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon. 5 and 1.
That's right.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Right. Stand in great boldness in front of the ones that afflicted us. Who are the ones that afflicted us? Our oppressor. You understand? That oppressed us. We're gonna stand in great boldness because they're gonna know that we are the ones. That's why it says it shall be said, ye are the sons of God. They're gonna be amazed. Oh my God, they are the sons of God. It is them. Keep reading.
and made no account of his labors.
Right. You didn't think that, when we see us in class teaching, you see us on the street corners, you see how we moving, you see we going to the feast days. Your mama calling you, where you at? Oh, I'm in Atlanta, I'm in Florida, I'm in North Carolina. You out here working and see me, or I'm not coming over there because I can't make it over there right now because I got camp this week. I got it this week. I'm doing this. Brothers out here putting in work, working hard for the Lord. You understand? And our oppressors seeing that, they're not making any account for all this work that we're putting in for the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Right. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Keep reading.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
They shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Keep reading.
So far beyond all that they have looked for.
So what they're saying is they're going to be more afraid than they've ever imagined. They're going to see it and be so confounded and so afraid. They've never experienced that type of fear, or even that, never been in this state of amazement before. It's going to be amazing how afraid they are. Keep reading.
So far beyond all they had looked for. Verse 3. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in the derision and the proverb of reproach.
Right. All those black Hebrew Israelites, man, they're at it again. What are they talking about now, man? Them black Hebrew Israelites, man, you gotta stop listening to them, man. Man, they got all type of things to say about us. They're dressing like Power Rangers. They talking all kind of noise. But that's the one. It says what? It says this was he whom we had sometimes in duration and the proverb of reproach. Yeah, you didn't know that we were actually the men of the Lord, the men that are the servants of the Lord. We are the sons of God. It was us, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. It was us the whole time, living in the ghettos and the barrios. We were enslaved, man. Guess what? We are the kings of the earth, the kings and the priests of the earth, man. You understand? So, is that it on that? That's it on that, right?
And we can read from 5.
Yeah, read verse 5.
We can read from 5, verse 4. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
Man, them Israelites is crazy, man. You can't listen to them. Them niggas is crazy, bro. They just on that corner just talking that noise, man. What are they talking about? Right? We fools. It says we fools counted his life madness. It's crazy. Talking about us. They think that we crazy. Right? It's a hate group, a cult, calling us all kind of things, not knowing that the Lord established this. The Lord established the Isupk.
Right.
You understand? This is for you, black, Latinos, and Native Indians. The Isupk is for you. This is the sanctuary that the Lord made for us, man. So we can get the hell out of hell, man. And with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding Junior Hana. I'm going to pass the class over to young man Ray. Young man.
Where the Isupk started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, found in Numbers 18:21, Or Malachi 3:8-10 means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or a teacher. A priest fund is a free will offering for the priest. It's non-mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming holy convocations include in the morning of blowing the trumpets.
That's right.
Which is the first day of the 7th month, which is Sunday, the 21st of September, 2025. Found in Leviticus 23 through 20, chapter 23, 24 through 25. If any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, scarf. With that, pass the class back over to Officer 1000 Lafar.
All right, with that, Amadi, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak,
How about Shimmy Al-Shah Barakatah?
Nadim Batah, Sar. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Shimmy Al-Shah.
Yahweh Shemar, Elathah, Shimmy Al-Shah
Barakatah. Dismiss.